in here. Waiting, and oh, there it is. It took about 5 extra seconds to go live. Good evening, all. My name is Rodney Jones, and welcome to In the Paint. My man Max611, who actually created this show. Thank you, Mac, for doing that and bringing me on as a host and moderator. So, guys, we're joined by the man that was missing in action for a few weeks, maybe a month or so. My man Chandler's back. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm all right, man. How y'all doing?
All right, brother. Good to see you. And of course, we're going to be joined by this man who I expected to join in. Mr. Kevin is here in the house, laughing, smiling. How you doing, brother?
I'm well. How are you?
All right, hanging, man. Kevin? And also, we're joined by straight from North Carolina, Mr. Dominic. What's going on, dude?
Good evening, gentlemen. My man, Chandler, how you doing, brother?
Man, same thing I told you in the text, bro. It ain't changed.
And you done grew hair.
Exactly. Yo, gentlemen, we're gonna lead off with the big story. Obviously, the Los Angeles Lakers winning the NBA championship. Okay, against the Miami Heat in the bubble, you know. And I gotta tell you, I'm impressed. You know, some people might not be impressed, and I get that. You know, but they did their thing. They did what they were supposed to do. And I don't want to hear anything about, well, maybe a little bit. I'll give a little credence to the fact that, oh, well, Miami's not supposed to be here and blah, 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 whatever. They got to that point because they beat teams. They beat solid teams as well. So I'm not trying to hear that, oh, it was overmatched. You know, like, I can hear a little bit of it. I'm not going to lie to you. But at the same time, didn't they earn their spot in capturing the Eastern Conference and going on to represent the East against the Lakers? Mm-hmm. They earned their spot. That's just what it is. They were the better team in the East. That's why they went to face the Lakers in the NBA Finals. So stop trying to underplay and disrespect Miami. They were there. You know, Jimmy Buckets, Butler, you know, he did his thing. Tyler Hero, he did. All of them played hard. The unfortunate thing was the injuries that happened after game one to Dragic and also to Bam. You know, when you don't have two major cogs in your lineup, I mean, you know, you can't really expect to win. It's going to be a hard-fought victory. Even if you get the victory, it's going to be hard-fought. You understand? So, again, congratulations to the Los Angeles Lakers on their 17th overall championship. Congratulations to brother LeBron James. Fourth championship, and more importantly, is the fourth NBA Finals MVP. You know, so he did his thing, and people don't want to give him credit. You know, I took issue with earlier today with Skip Bayless. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I took issue with him for his little tweet. You know, it wants to bring up the comparison to MJ. Yo, shut the freak up, dude. You don't know what you're talking about. No, I'm serious, because when I saw that, I got really tight behind that. You know, why are you bringing MJ into the equation? Why can't you just give the man his moment, give the team their moment after they just won? What's wrong with that? I can't stand him. And somebody was responding back to me, well, you shouldn't give him that much, you know, attention. And that person was right. I agree. But it just ticks me off. It caught me. It had me in my feelings for a minute. Because I'm like, yo, just leave the dude alone. Damn. 17th year in the league, my dude. This guy's like 35. Yo, and he's still performing at a high level. You really don't give no type of credence, no respect to that? Yo, F up out of here with that nonsense. You shouldn't even have a platform. I'm sorry. You know, so that's all I got to say for now. Sorry.
Let me start it off. Well done by LeBron. Well done by Anthony Davis.
Right.
A lot of guys in our group. I'm gonna name a name. Rajon Rondo.
Mm-hmm.
They said he shouldn't be starting during the season. Guys wanted him gone, and I'm like, leave him alone. He's shooting 40% from the 3 line. He played very well in spurts during the finals, especially in Game 5. Alex Caruso did his thing. And kudos to the Lakers for championship number 17. Kudos to LeBron for number 4 title and number 4 MVP, as he damn near had a triple-double. He balled out. and he doesn't get there if AD doesn't ball out. For me, I think AD maybe could have gotten away with the MVP.
I don't know about that one, but okay. I think it was basically all LeBron in the way he balled out. That's just what it is. Okay. Hold on. Let me cut to my man, the anti-LeBron guy,
No, I can
aka.
wait my turn. I'll wait my turn.
No. I want to hear
the other
while I'm
statesmen.
discussing, while I'm talking. You obviously had your little head movements and whatnot in obvious disagreement. So you might just bring it on right now. Don't delay.
I would like to wait my turn at the end.
Oh, okay. Also, okay. He wants to be the showstopper. Okay, I got you. Anybody else want to offer up on this NBA Finals?
I'm just glad. Go ahead, Shannon. Go ahead.
I mean, listen, I don't do the kudos thing. When my team is, I don't really care who wins, honestly. So I'm not invested at all. But it was good to see. It was good to see Dwight Howard get a ring.
Right.
To kind of bring his career to a full circle and get him. People can kind of get off his back and see that he's not that guy that he was in Orlando, that he was able to come in and he basically sat down with him and had a job interview and said, listen, if you give me this job, you ask me to sweep the floor, if you ask me to you ask me to wash the windows, whatever you ask me to do, I'm gonna do. So, but as far as Rondo, I really didn't want Rondo to start during the season because I wanted him healthy for the playoffs. The playoff Rondo showed up.
My son did this.
But the biggest thing is the fact that this went 6 games. Don't tell me that Miami shouldn't have been there when they took him 6 games with basically one guy. Okay, right. They didn't have Bam. They didn't have Dragic. Duncan Robinson was in and out. Kendrick Nunn was I don't know where he was. Sometimes he was there. Sometimes
he didn't play.
They still took him 6 games. So right. It's legitimate championship. Most people that aren't in the military don't understand how hard it is to be away from your family for months. Okay? For months. So the mental stress that these guys went through when they're used to having the world in the palm of their hand, and now suddenly it's like, nope, and you can say what you want about how it was, they had catering, this and that. To be away from your family for that amount of time is very difficult, especially when you used to be able to see your kids every day. And everybody's not built for that. And the fact that they overcame it, I think, says a lot. But at the end of the day, man, you know what? Good for him. Please stop with the ridiculous comparisons because there is no comparison. They're 2 different players. They play 2 different positions. Their games are not similar, so they shouldn't be getting compared anyway. And as far as the Skip Baylesses, listen, I don't give trolls oxygen. That's just me. I don't give them oxygen. So fuck, let them die.
I hear you. Yo, Dom, before you come back, let me just introduce somebody here. Brother, I don't know what's going on with your volume. You got something going on, Brian, with your coach. Take the headphones out, man, because you got something going on, brother. The headphones, dude. Unplug. Let's try this again. Now say something.
Is that better?
That's a lot better.
Yo,
Thank
what's
you.
up?
Yes. What's going on? Glad that you finally joined us. Before I even get further, hold on. Before he gets further, and Dom, I ain't forget you either, or Kev. Let me get on this guy for a second. I'm talking about Coach here. Coach is a pretty loyal guy as far as calling in and checking us out, even if he doesn't offer up any opinions or input. No. He's always there. However, I have to literally browbeat this guy on technology. Okay, he's officially joined us in the 21st century. This is recent. I'm not even joking. No, I'm serious. He is one of the last people to actually have a flip phone, which he couldn't text. He just recently got an iPhone. I couldn't believe it. I almost knocked over in my chair. I was like, what? And he did a FaceTime call with me. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, oh, shit.
He did FaceTime?
I'm like, exactly. I couldn't believe it. So he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did FaceTime me. And I couldn't believe it. I was bowled over. So I'm like, okay, great. So now Coach is with us in the 21st century. Thank God. We just got to work on your audio issues. Let me go to my man Dom. Go ahead, Dom.
We're glad to have you in the number, Coach.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
You know how I feel. I'm like Chandler in a way. I had no nickel in that dime. I didn't watch one game. So my interest in it, because I'm really not a non-Knick fan, and I'm not going to jump on a bandwagon per se. And to tap into what Chandler said, I got a little tired of hearing that. These guys sacrifice so much, left their family. Well, I can name quite a few 100,000 people that do that on a daily basis, and they ain't in no bubble in no hotel. So you ain't getting no Nobel Peace Prize with me for getting paid millions of dollars to go play a game when a lot of my brothers and sisters couldn't watch that game due to them leaving their families on a consistent basis. So they don't get no thumb up from me. Not for that. It was a good series. Nobody thought Miami would win 2 games. So we got to give them some credit, guys. Come on, they're the first 5th seed since 1999. A seed that low to get to the NBA championship. So you got to give them credit. We kind of figured this would happen, though we had a lot of them young guys on the high horse. It was bound to happen, guys. They were a little too young for the moment. Not saying they would have won. But at least Miami got something to look forward to going down the road. They got a bunch of good young players that are going to be, really, really good ball players. I ain't saying Hall of Famers, All-Stars, but good young players on a very good franchise that will use them correctly, develop them correctly. And Miami will be a force to reckon with, guys. I mean, we got to give them credit. 2 thumbs up to Spoelstra. Congratulations to the Lakers.
He's a great coach.
Exactly. And them kids fell into it. Hero, Nunn, Robinson, they fell into it going to Miami with that organization and that coach. So
I got to give him credit.
My only thing is I wish the Knicks would take a page out of that book, and try to develop young players and stop trying to hit the home run on.
Dom, you're gonna love the next. You're gonna love the next segment when you get there.
I know, I read it, but that's all I got, guys.
I hear you.
I read it, R.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. Now, hater, are you are you there, hater?
Why you gotta call me a hater? I'm not a hater.
No, leave Kev alone, man.
No, I can't. Because I want to know if this is this your moment? Is this it? Are you ready, or you want to go first? I'm just trying to figure this all out.
I'm ready.
So what do you have to offer, sir? With the disapproval head movements of yours?
I disapprove because you said it was all LeBron, and it wasn't all LeBron.
I did say that, but I'm saying
that's the type of shit that I don't like.
Well, yeah, listen, what can I tell you? So if LeBron wasn't there, would they have taken that title?
Probably not. But if AD wasn't there, would they have taken the title?
Wait, what?
If Anthony Davis was not on that team, would they have won the title?
Oh, why are you trying? Wait, why are you trying to?
Because that's the same logic. That's the same logic. And that's the problem that I have with people who give all of this kudos to LeBron, and then everybody else was like, "Oh, nah, it was all him. He did all this shit by himself," and that's not true. That's not even how basketball works.
Okay, I'm gonna pause that out. Let me just say this: does anybody have the TV on or radio or something like that? If you could kind of just like lower that, I greatly appreciate that. Thank you very much. Of course, it's probably my man. So I'm sorry I called you the hater, and you do make a valid point. Okay, my thing was I was just, you know what? I'm not trying to give him all the credit, but he did deserve that MVP. You understand? He did deserve the MVP. Come on now, don't be funky on that one with me.
I'm not gonna say he didn't deserve it, but that don't mean that somebody else on his team didn't deserve it either. Because the games where Anthony Davis did not play well, they didn't win. And to me, that goes for a card in his pocket for being an MVP caliber player. So just to throw it on LeBron because he was consistent and he put up all these numbers. Still, the guy who had a bigger impact when he doesn't play well, they do not win, and that's an MVP quality player as well.
For sure.
So to be like, it's all LeBron, nobody else. That's not fair, and that's the problem that I have with LeBron and his followers. You know what I'm saying? So he got up there, and he gonna say, "Yo, I want my damn respect, bro. You can't get it all. When you're a celebrity, You're gonna have some people who like you. You're gonna have some people who love you. You're gonna have some people who don't like you. Some people who hate you. That comes with the territory. To me, him getting up there and saying that, like, yo, you whining. Because for the most part, the majority of people have nice, positive things to say about him. If he chooses to focus on the negative, that's on not his game.
Yeah, he got 1,000. He has 1 million haters, bro. You know,
he also
that.
got
You
1 million
wanted
people who love him. It goes back and forth.
Right.
But for him to sit there and be like, yo, everybody should love me and this, that, and the third, yo, I'm not giving him that.
Okay. All right.
So he can't defend himself now?
Defend himself against what?
Haters.
Hold on, guys. Let me. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. Let me bring some other people in here. Coach, first time. We got the Bishop on the line as well. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you again for calling in. Well, not calling in, but joining us on this live stream. Coach, let me go to you since it's the first time here. Mike is yours, bro.
Oh, LeBron is one of the best players that I've ever watched.
Okay.
And I've enjoyed it, and basically all the accolades he gets, he's well deserving of it.
Okay.
That's it. If you want comparisons, as before, it's hard to compare errors and things of that nature. So,
yeah,
everybody has their variation of their top players. We'll go from there.
Exactly.
Right. I hear you, man. Bishop. What's going on, Bishop, man? Is he there? Is he frozen? The Bishop. Hey, Bishop. What's happening? Can you hear me?
Oh, he said he has technical issues.
Okay, thank you, because I couldn't pick up on that. All right.
No, not Bishop with technical issues. Not tonight.
Not tonight. Not him, man. Max 611. Yeah, okay, we get it.
Not Bishop. I will say one thing to what Kevin said. That is getting a little old, guys. With that, I gotta have the thunder. We understand. Like all of y'all have said. You got his haters. You got his lovers. That happens all the time.
Right.
But that me attitude, that to me gets a little old, guys. Just like he did when Giannis won the MVP, and like he did last night. Really, do you really need that much attention? Really?
Probably.
And I couldn't give Anthony Davis the MVP because I remember Anthony Davis. Let's not get it twisted. LeBron went to a lot of finals without Anthony Davis. True. Anthony Davis didn't go to nail one second round without LeBron James.
Yeah.
Granted, he wasn't on the greatest team, but again, he didn't, he did the Tracy McGrady for 5-6 years. Good numbers, don't go nowhere. So I'm not going to put him on no instant plateau. No, he's got a lot to prove, guys. Great talent, but nah, you got to show me more
argument.
than, joining the best player in the game.
Yeah, that's a fair argument. I'm not going to deny that. Good point, Dom. I'm sorry. So I don't know.
Oh no, not Bishop. Oh.
Yeah, he's having some difficulties.
I waited all night for this.
I know.
That's my buddy. My man.
I know. So, well, what can I say, man? Listen, all I could add to that, man, congratulations, Lakers. You won it for Kobe. I'm happy for that. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's not official, but I'm just saying, with the whole 2020 thing and the crash and, unfortunately, with Kobe and his daughter passing away in that crash or whatnot, I'm glad to see that this organization and that town, that state, that city could have something to look upon that bring them some type of joy. You know what I'm saying? So congratulations to those guys. Here we go. Here we go, folks. Here it is. Let's get it going. Which I found Max 611.
You found the article?
I did find the article and I read it and I just started laughing hysterically.
Right.
Because that was just ridiculous to me. According to the reports, New York Knicks should target the following players: point guard Chris Paul, shooting guard Victor Oladipo, center Karl Anthony Towns, small forward Paul George, and center Joel Embiid.
You got
Okay.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Julius Erving,
Will Chamberlain, Jerry West.
Word. That's
God.
it's ridiculous, guys. It's really ridiculous. I'm like, when Max 6'11", we were offline and we were talking, and he was like, he said something about the Knicks. And I was like, wait a minute, according to whose report and what players? And he told me through text, and I just like fell out my chair laughing because I just found it ridiculous, as I already named the players and whatnot. No, especially no with Chris Paul. No, absolutely not. You understand? The money's too much. No, I just can't see it. Just the money and the age alone. Some people might not agree, and I get that, but come on. I mean, listen. What has been the blueprint for the Knicks for the past years, eons? What has been the blueprint? Sign a big name. Oh wait, I left out a part. Sign a overaged, underperforming big name.
Mm-hmm.
Aging,
plenty of money, aging. You understand? doesn't have any type of goal with the youth movement and whatnot. I'm here to get paid and get mine, and that's it. If I can even get mine, for the most part. You understand? But I'm definitely gonna get paid. This is typical Nick shit. Okay, this is their manual. Okay, this is the operations manual. So hell no to Chris Paul. I don't want to see Oladipo here either, because did he have those flashes of damn, what the hell's wrong with tonight? The explosiveness wasn't there last season. I don't know if you guys saw the same thing.
He was hurt.
Yeah, we know he's hurt, but the explosive. And what makes you think he's going to get that back? Can he return to that form? That's my whole thing. Can he return to that form? So again, off injured, overage, definitely getting paid or whatnot. No, I don't want to see him either. Karl Anthony Towns, I'm not really impressed by him. I'm just not. I think he's a guy that'll get his numbers, but is he committed to winning like that? I don't think so. I'm sorry. And that's the unpopular opinion. Well, then fuck it. It is what it is. Joel Embiid, hell no. I've seen his motor in Philly. It ain't getting no better in New York. It ain't getting no better. Paul George, another pass. Okay, because what's gonna happen when we actually do get to the playoffs? Can we count on you, Paul? Have we been counting on you?
Nope.
We've seen what you've done. Disappearing acts. So to all 5 of these options, it makes perfect sense to Knick management. It don't make sense to the Knick fans. Well, real ones that are realistic and have common sense. That's all I got to offer right now on that.
See, don't say Knick
let
fans.
me just
Go ahead, man. Sorry.
Thank you. Let me just say that I like Victor Oladipo, but he's injured. This is like his second injury, and it took him a year and a half for this one, and he still wasn't right. So I don't want him. Chris Paul, no. Overpriced, overweight, 36 years old, no. We don't need
Absolutely
that.
Not.
We don't need Jollof rice and stewed chicken, Joel Embiid. We don't need that. Another guy who's a good talent, and I like him when he's engaged and he plays, but we don't need him. Paul George is who I'd like, but you need a number 1 because it's clear that he's a number 2. And like you said, too many disappearing acts. But I would take Paul George. Karl Anthony Towns, another one. Yeah. Karl Anthony Towns, good talent, but no motor. He's not a winner. He doesn't want to be coached. He doesn't want somebody to get in his ass. So you stay in Minnesota.
Plus, he did not get along with Thibodeau? Or that's
I was getting ready to say that.
Right. I'm sorry. I just thought.
Because Thibodeau got in his ass.
Yeah.
And Thibodeau made him work. Jimmy Butler got in his ass. They didn't like Jimmy Butler. And kudos, let me short route. Kudos to Butler. He reclamated his name. And kudos to him, but Karl Anthony Towns? No.
What happened to Karl Anthony Towns? Because the guy I saw in Kentucky was a hardworking player. We know Calipari coaches hard. That kid that came out of Kentucky, I don't know who this person is now. He got to the NBA, got the big head, started listening to people. His first season in the league, Karl Anthony Towns, he gave max effort every play. Watched him play a lot of games. Max effort every play. Since that first rookie season, it's like somebody told him he's God's gift to the world. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened to him, but wherever he left the old Karl Anthony Towns, he used to come get it, go get it back. Okay? Karl Anthony Towns came in the league as a guy whose staple was defense. If you remember him in college, this thing was defense first, and the offense was sort of like, yeah, that was nice to have. This thing was defense. Karl Anthony Towns ain't trying to guard nothing but his paycheck right now. All right? That's the only time he boxed out when he had the ATM, put that damn card in. All right? Paul George, you want Paul George, the guy who said, well, we wasn't supposed to win anyway, so it's okay that we lost. Yeah, let's bring him to New York. Let's bring the guy who says, it's okay that we lost because we weren't supposed to win this year anyway. You know, this wasn't the year for us to win, even though all season long, this is our year to win. This is our year to win. Well, nah, you know, I know we said that, but see, what we had meant was, you know, this is our year to win. If you know, kind of sorted everything, you know, and then, you know, the fellas. I'm not trying to hear from Paul George, all right? Go away. All of y'all, Joel Embiid, let's bring Joel. Listen, it's not like there's not enough African restaurants in Philly. There's 10 times that in New York. Let's bring him to New York. So he'll be 400 pounds by the time he signed the damn check. All right, come on, man. See, Knicks fans are stupid. I don't like
exactly.
Fans of the Knicks are not the same as Knicks fans. Knicks fans are clowns because y'all want every big name. Going all the way back to I'm gonna go back to Chuck Robinson and Marvin Dan Webster. Oh, we need Marvin Webster. He had no need. Chuck Robinson back was broke. Kiki Bedway's back was broke. Rondo Blackman was a ghost of himself. Maurice Lucas was the ghost of Maurice Lucas. I can go on and on and on with these damn Knicks fans. All right, listen. Keep Chris Paul. Keep all of them away.
Yep.
Build a team the proper way. Look at what Miami has done. Go out and get you a Duncan Robinson that nobody looked at, but one of your scouts said, yo, you signed him. Okay, go get you a Kendrick Nunn, who the Golden State Warriors of all teams gave up on him. But hey, go get you a Kendrick Nunn. Go get some players that you can develop and have long-lasting winning. I don't want one season of winning. I want perennial contention. Perennial means all the time. Right. For those who don't understand that big word, all the time.
Right.
There's no way. First of all, this is what I always say. Sorry, Mike. This is what I always say about Kentucky.
No,
it's hard to judge a player coming out of Kentucky. But this one and done stuff is a two-step behind program. Look at what we're looking at. Anthony Towns, Kevin Knox. What do they have in common? Same college. Zero motor. And you're going to bring Towns back around Thibodeau. First of all, whoever created this stupid scenario is just that, stupid. Because first of all, when you look at the dollars, the Knicks couldn't afford two of those guys unless they want to, you know, of course you got the salary cap, you can blow it out, pay the tax. But it just don't even make logical sense, guys, to any fan at all.
No.
And I know I told you,
when I saw
Paul George ain't even Robin. He ain't even Alfred. He's got to catch up to Alfred before he can be Robin. So let's just can that. We've had that conversation before, guys. I'm sorry. But I will say this. I know this is going to sound a little bizarre. If the Knicks had a plan to develop a point guard, getting Chris Paul would not be a very bad scenario.
Okay,
I know his let me finish. I know his contract is astronomical, but he would bring some stability to a position the Knicks have had no stability in for 20 years.
But Dom, but for how long? A year or two?
A year. Yeah, a year,
Come on, man.
All.
I just don't like that. I don't like that because if you're trying to build something, especially at that point guard position and whatnot, of which they have like 30 of them already in their damn roster. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, if you're gonna have the guy, whoever this is, You know, if you draft a certain point guard, and if he's going to be the guy, he's going to be a free. What's wrong with? I can't do these 1-2 year rentals. You know what I'm saying? At a astronomical amount of salary. It's ridiculous to me. I just don't like that. You know, is he an accomplished point guard? Yeah, for sure. I'll give him his props. But we don't need you at this time. We don't need you. It's not good long term. Now, if you're going to play at an optimum level till 47 years old, if you're going to play at an optimum level till 46, 47, okay, we'll bring you in. But if not, no, absolutely not. But I'm sorry.
The thing that's scary is the pieces the Knicks put in place as far as the management. I said this before, guys. I don't think we brought in all of these guys from Rose to West to Thibodeau to say we're going to look 5-6 years down the road. That ain't happening, guys. So for all of us that would love to see them build from the ground up, I don't think that's their plan, to be honest. And I'm for that plan because I've suffered long enough. Let's be honest. I'm getting older, guys. I don't have 20, 30 more years for this reclamation project to take off. We'll all be gone. You know, I want success. I want it now, damn it. And that's the kind of guys the Knicks brought in place. So if you're looking down the road with, you know what? Because that hasn't worked either, guys. We have 100. Last year, we had 8 first-round picks on our team last year. 3 of them from one draft. 3 of them from one draft, and we couldn't get out our way. So again, explain to me how tanking and all these draft picks really work. It don't. Look at the successful teams in the NBA now. They have a couple of their homegrown players. They bring players in, i.e. Jimmy Butler, LeBron, Anthony Davis. You know, I keep telling y'all, Golden State won a chip, lost a chip, never lost another chip when they got Durant. So if you can't lure top flight players, you'll be rebuilding for, I don't know how long, guys, to be honest. Chris Paul, point guard, draft you a point guard or create a point guard out of all of these point guards you have, put them in a basket, shake them up. Maybe you'll come out with one and he could mentor them if nothing else. And he's got a good coach. So
I hear you.
But the rest of that garbage, guys, that ain't even worth reading. Come on. Paul George. Paul George, I told you. He needs to knock on, he ain't Batman, Robin, Alfred, Catwoman.
Exactly.
He ain't even in the top 5 of DC comic books. No.
Not even Commissioner Gordon.
He's a wash.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's a wash. He's a wash, guys.
You know what I'm saying?
He is what he is.
Now, Coach, go ahead. Let me hear from you. Then I want to hear from my man Kevin, who's been silently staring at the screen, giving this look of discontent. But that's okay. I still love you.
Well, I'm going to agree that if you bring these guys in, they have a plan. There's got to be less than 5 years. They're going to get some bets on this team. They're going to spend some money, and they're going to do what they usually do, but hopefully they can do it better. That's going to be the plan. I don't see the other way around that.
I hear you, Coach. I hear you.
I mean, guys on the screen, I hope not. That's all I can say.
Kev, what you got? What do you have on your mind, brother?
I just think the pieces that they probably have to give up to acquire any of those guys. Right. You would gut the team, and then you have to pay these dudes all this money to get essentially nowhere. You know, especially Chris Paul, because if you get Chris Paul, you got to give up Knox, you got to give up Dennis Smith. And Ntilikina
and a draft pick.
I'm sorry,
and a draft pick.
Right, exactly.
You know, so that ain't it.
No,
you know, Oladipo. We need somebody that could score, but again, what are you going to give up to get him? You know, I mean, that's the only person I would take on that list is Karl Anthony Towns because he's young. You know, he can be dominant, but then again, we already seen him with Tibbs. So
right.
You know, that might be a wash.
Right.
Paul George, I don't think this is the team for him. Although maybe Tibbs could coach him up, because he got the talent. Sometimes when you got the talent, it's all about who you have directing you.
Okay. Okay.
But Joel Embiid, I don't know. He out there. His type. You never really know what you're gonna get. He's just one of those type dudes.
Kevin, I would take Joel Embiid before I take Karl Anthony Towns.
Ooh.
Oh man, I don't know about that one.
Listen.
Yeah,
you say what you want about Joel Embiid. At least he's been to the playoffs. He's a top 5 center. Karl Anthony Towns is just meh. You ain't going nowhere.
Put a lot of stock in people's kind of past performances, but sometimes that doesn't matter if you get proper coaching or you're with another type superstar. So say what you want about Anthony Davis, you put him with somebody like LeBron, he'll do well,
But Kevin, Anthony Davis was always I don't mean to cut you off, but Anthony Davis was always a hard worker. He was always a upper echelon player. I can't say that about Karl Anthony Towns.
Embiid ain't always a hard worker.
Right.
No,
and that's the
but
thing.
Go ahead, Chandler.
Well, it also depends on the organization. I agree with Kevin. It's not just who's directing, but it's not just the coach, it's the organizational culture. And the Knicks don't have a culture.
True.
Now, if you were talking about taking Karl Anthony Towns to Miami, I would agree with you that Karl Anthony Towns would shape up or ship out. Okay, you got Jonathan Haslam gonna put foot in that ass. You got people Pat Riley will come down and put foot in that ass.
Right.
All right. Who in the Knicks organization, right? I'm talking about the entire organization now, not just the coach of the entire organization. Right. Outside of Tibbs and Mike Woodson, right? When they get ready to punch Joel Embiid in the face because they caught him at the damn African spot again, it's 11 o'clock at night. He's supposed to be in bed, but he ordered another plate of jollof rice. All right, who in the organization gonna support them?
See, that's the thing. That's the thing we got to get past, guys. What Chandler just said, we got to get past that. Because again, I'm gonna go back to previous conversations, because I always rewind, as Mark would say.
For sure.
The day the Knicks signed Rose and Thibodeau, the makeup changed. We keep talking about this culture and this. Now you got those guys. We can't keep looking in the past. Well, we got this guy. Who do we get? We got Phil Jackson, who couldn't get out his own way. Mistake number one. Thibodeau should have been our coach 3-4 years ago. But because of Phil Jackson's ego, we overlooked it. Okay, it's water under the bridge now, guys. I want to move forward with the guys we got in place right now. The leadership and the front office that we got in place right now. I don't want to go in the past no more. The fortunes have changed, guys. I know I'm a little biased because I'm a Knicks fan. But this is what we've all on this line have been waiting for that are Knicks fans, to have one adult in the room. Now we got many adults in the room. So now is the time. Like I said, nobody was fortunate more than the Knicks because of COVID. Because during this COVID and during this bubble, the Knicks have had a chance to get all their pieces in place. I'm talking front office pieces, the guys that are going to be the movers and shakers. So by the time we get to the draft, free agency, and the season, we're going to see this plan come to fruition. There ain't one guy on the Knicks right now, fellas. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. There ain't one guy on the Knicks right now that is not tradable. There is not one untouchable player on the New York Knicks roster right now.
No, there isn't. There isn't.
So
now, you know what? I hate to cut you off, Dom. I'm doing my Mac 611 impersonation, but the thing is, sorry, but the thing is, my bad. No, but the thing is, what you just said, Dom. Yo, bro, the thing that I have an issue with what you said, and it's not really anything personal or anything like that, but the thing that I have is, we're going to see from this upcoming off season, this is where the rubber's going to meet the road. We're going to see if shit changed, if they change the culture. Sorry, Giants. At the guard. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see if they really want to kind of like put their money where their mouth is, or we're going to see the same retreaded bullshit we've been seeing for a decade and a half, hell, even 2 decades. You understand? This offseason is very freaking important for the New York Knicks. You know, because if you go out there and you get Chris Paul and you see all the fuckery and the bullshit, you really know what time it is. We already know what time it is. So they got to show.
I don't think it's going to happen. Or even if they got a Chris Paul again, if we understand the role they're getting Chris Paul to do, I understand the contract, guys. We all bitched about this for months. I understand that. But if you identify what his job is going to be for a year and a half, if you're developing a player, because again, guys, we have not had good fortune with developing players.
No.
So all of these development gurus we've had haven't done jack. So if you could bring a Chris Paul in to develop somebody, we failed at that. We know that. That's why we got the Roses, the Thibodeaux, the Woodsons coming back. We failed. We couldn't check that box, guys. But again, we can't put the genie back in the bottle. We have to move forward as of 2020. And just me, and I know I'm biased because I'm a Knicks fan, but I haven't felt this way in years because we never had the adults in the room. We could always blame Dolan. That was great. Dolan was the fallback guy, the get out of jail free card. But it was the guys Dolan hired. Dolan is one, never been afraid to spend money. He just happened to spend it in the wrong places.
For sure.
With putting idiots in place like a Phil Jackson. That was $50 million down the tubes, and we didn't get nothing in return for it. Nothing. Think about that, guy. We got put back 4 years getting Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson presidented us to a record low win. We never had 17 wins in the season. We got Phil Jackson. His first year, we won 17 games.
Right.
Figure that shit out, guys.
Well, I can figure it out. Look, the winners is the ownership.
Look at the coaches.
That's a subject
Phil
for another day. Or yes,
and prior to Phil, we had Donnie Walsh, and coaching wise, we had Mike Woodson. Those were the two adults.
Exactly.
And the owner, Phil, for whatever reason, didn't want to deal with Mike Woodson. And you hire Derek Fisher, you hire Hornacek.
Rambis.
You tried to put
Rambis.
Rambis as a coach? Really?
Right.
Really, Phil? Yo, that Montana weed is ridiculously good that he was smoking.
Chandler, you remember when they were going over all the guys that have been a coach that came from around in the Phil Jackson tree. They was like 150 games under 500.
Yep. Not one winning season. Not one.
Every one of them was 150 games under 500.
If I may. Yep. Do you know why Max 6'11"? Huh? Do you know why?
Sir?
When you mentioned Mike Woodson and Donnie Walsh, and you had those quote unquote two adults in the room, you know why Phil Jackson had a problem with that as the president? You know why he had a problem? Because it wasn't part of the plan.
Why?
It wasn't part of the plan.
Oh,
because to win is not important. Dom.
Not the plan.
I understand what you're saying.
Stop. That's not the plan.
Yeah,
that's not the plan.
But again, you gotta when you talk about plan, and your plan is you got to be the smartest guy in the room. Well, guess what happens when you're the smartest guy in the room? You get a Derek Fisher. Yeah. You get a Hornacek. You get a Derek. You bring in a Derek Williams, a Lopez, and somebody else, and say our whole system has changed. And we won 17 games, guys. As bad as we've been for decades, we never had 17 wins. We did with Phil Jackson.
But the
what did he give
up? But the Guardians still sold out.
They still showed up.
Well, that's a subject for another day, guys. I just tend to want to look forward and say, you know what? We finally got the pieces in place. That's all. Maybe I'm being as
you're right.
As you would say, hope springs eternal.
Hope springs eternal. That's it.
I'm springing. I'm springing, brother. I'm springing.
Listen, the Knicks did some they did some good things under the moron that's finally gone, who's now he's sitting on the board now, but he kept the draft picks, which was smart. The Knicks don't need to make a move and trade for the guys that we mentioned.
Right.
They don't need to do that. They don't need to overpay because Victor Oladipo is going to be a free agent
Exactly.
after next year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I like him as a player, but I'm not giving him $120 million so he could get hurt again.
Yeah, right. Right. That'd be a huge
And
mistake.
we already have a person. We already have a person. I think he made 85 from Indiana or something like that.
Mhm.
So the next contract, he's still in his 20s. He's gonna get $100 million.
Right.
Probably.
Right.
I don't think so.
Joel Embiid is making ridiculous money. We don't need that. Paul George is making ridiculous money. We don't need that, and we don't need Chris Paul with his $84 million, making 40 in the last year of that contract.
Like I said, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. You know, I don't need to go to what do you call it either. What's that shit? Oh, I forgot that damn commercial. Not Allstate. What's that damn commercial? You know, the company
State
represents
Farm.
State Farm. Yeah, I don't need to see State Farm here. I don't need to see no fucking State Farm billboards all screwed out throughout the garden in the city. I want to see that shit. Stay away where the fuck you at.
And Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yeah, I don't want to see him either. Doing his little Karl dance around the garden. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't want to see that bullshit. So I'm sorry. I keep your ass where the fuck you are, and that's it. And get paid from them jacks, not us. Okay, and that's it. Let's move on a little bit. We're gonna go into a different lane. We're gonna talk about, since we're local here, our New York Yankees, of course. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Well, no, that's the wrong thing. Sorry about that. Yeah. Here we go. World Series Championship number 28 will have to wait another year as the New York Yankees get eliminated from the American League Divisional Series by the Tampa Bay Rays. Chandler, I'm glad that you are on with us tonight. You made your return. We discussed this in detail about how the bar has been lowered. And I mentioned that on social media, and I had return fire damn near up the wazoo. You understand? People are just over emotional, irrational in regards to that statement. And he's like, "Oh, what do you mean they lowered the bar? They made the playoffs, right?" So I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute. This one cornball in particular, Mark knows what I'm talking about because I alerted him to it. This one cornball is like, well, they got this far by getting to the playoffs." And I said, "Oh, so that's the bar now? Just getting to the playoffs, not winning the championship?" And then he was like telling me like he didn't think I was a Yankee fan. He was like saying that my team is probably didn't even reach the playoffs. And I said, "No, let me alert you to something. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm just real about it." You okay? There's a difference. Okay, I'm knowledgeable about it. I'm realistic about it. You know, I'm not gonna sell shit about false shit about my team. If they suck in certain areas, I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna hide it. You know, and the ultimate moronic thing he did, and that's why I said he is a moron. He posted a picture of himself in a Yankees jacket and wondered where my picture with my Yankees jacket was on. I said, "Dude, are you serious? So I have to purchase a Yankee jacket to prove my fandom? What the fuck is wrong with you?" Hey, now, why did you put your headphones back in, sir? Unplug the headphones. You're making too much noise. Unplug the headphones. Unplug your headphones. Coach, yes, you. Yes. Okay, I'm going to have to mute you, Mike. I'm going to have to mute you. Right now, you're killing me. You're killing me. You're killing me right now. Take off your headphones, bro. You're killing me right now. Let me see if I can. No.
This is connection.
No.
This is connection.
Connection. Unplug your headphone. You're ruining me right now.
Oh man.
Jesus Christ. I forgot what the hell I was saying. Yeah, but Chandler, like I said, we was talking about this before, and this, it's fans like the one I just described with the Yankee jacket, moron. Yeah, it's fans like that don't understand that. I say something that's, we say something like how Steinbrenner dropped the ball, and people get these fans, they get over emotional. It's fucking ridiculous. You understand?
It is. It's ridiculous because they sit there and they say, you say the bar's been lowered, but we made the playoffs. That means the bar's been lowered. The fact that you said, but we made the playoffs, means the bar's been lowered. I grew up with George Steinbrenner owning the Yankees. Okay, actually, when I first became a Yankee fan, All right. Thanks. All right. When I first became a Yankee fan, they were owned by CBS.
Right.
Okay, that's how far back I go. Okay,
Right.
I go back to Ralph Houck being the manager. All right, I go back to them. I go back to the year after the trade of Johnny Keane for Yogi Berra as manager. Okay, all right. That's how far back I go as a Yankee fan. And the bottom line was always World Series or it's a terrible season. Now it's we hit a lot of Luke Voigt led the American League home runs, but we couldn't get a base hit when we needed one. Okay, it's we got Garrett Cole, but we don't have anybody else who can pitch. Okay, now for those of you people who like to wager your money, the Rays are going to beat the Astros in 5 games. Book it. Then they're going to lose to the Dodgers in the World Series because the Dodgers can actually hit other than home runs.
Right.
But if you look at the makeup of this team, Miguel Andujar was left off the postseason roster. Why? When he's the one guy you can count on to put the ball in play besides DJ LeMahieu, yet he was left off the roster. Right. You benched Gary Sanchez for Kyle Higashioka. Listen, you want to have a personal catch-up with Garrett Cole? I'm all for that because we saw that with A.J. Burnett and the Molina brother. I forget which one. One of the damn
Carl Pavano.
No. It was A.J. Burnett and the Molina in 2009.
Oh, okay.
2009. It was one of the Molina, one of the 17 Molinas that had played catcher in the major leagues was on the roster at the time, and he was A.J. Burnett's personal catcher. And that was the side that had a connection about that. But oh well, we won the World Series.
Yes.
Yes. I don't have a problem with that. But then you bitch Gary Sanchez basically every other game. When Gary Sanchez at one point in time was one of the best hitters in baseball, but he screwed with his stance, he screwed with his catching stance so much. The boy don't know if he's coming or going. He's so worried about, I got to be on one knee. I can't be on one knee. I got to move this way. Oh, and by the way, you keep changing his batting stance because when Gary Sanchez first came up, most of his home runs went to the opposite field. Now he's a dead pull hitter.
No.
Gleyber Torres, when he got to the Yankees, was up the middle opposite field. Now he's a dead pull hitter.
Right.
Clint Frazier, when we got him, where did he hit the ball? Opposite field. Dead pull hitter. Aaron Judge, you're sensing a theme here. If you're constantly trying to pull the ball, you can't ever get it. You're not going to get a lot of base hits. Luke Voigt, when he got to the Yankees, one of the things they loved about him was the fact that he went the opposite way. That was one of the things that they kept trumpeting. Oh, he hits to the opposite field. That's going to play well in Yankee Stadium. All he does now is try to pull the ball.
Right.
Brian Cashman has done a piss poor job of developing pitching. Name the last pitcher that the Yankees actually developed. I'll wait till next week sometime.
Severino, maybe.
Severino.
The guy who blew his arm out throwing the changeup. The guy who figured out his arm was hurting by throwing a changeup when the changeup is the same as a fastball. And if your changeup grip is causing you to feel pain, you are throwing the changeup wrong. That pitcher, that guy, that's not development.
20 games for the Yankees.
That's ruining. That's ruining because he still can't throw a changeup. He still can't throw a changeup. He still is a thrower and not a pitcher. Okay? We haven't developed a pitcher in ever since Andy Pettit, to be quite honest with you, because you ruined Phil Hughes. Okay, Phil Hughes had talent, and he became a middle-of-the-road pitcher because you kept on, we want strikeouts. Put the ball in play. Pitch to contact. Throw less pitches. Less wear and tear on the arm. Okay, if you watch what the Tampa Bay Rays pitchers do, what they do, you put the ball in play. Their defense catches the ball, you make outs. That's what they're doing. They have hitters who put the ball in play. They move guys over. They advance runners. They hit some singles, some doubles, some triples, and somebody pops a home run. But they've already scored 3 runs by the time they hit the home run. So now it's a 5-run lead instead of a 2-run lead.
Right.
The Yankees have lowered the bar. Brian Cashman, I don't care which anybody has to say, has done a terrible job as general manager. Okay, because since the Gene Michael team that was constructed by Gene Michael and Bob Watson, who never gets credit, by the way.
Right.
Gene Michael and Bob Watson. Since all of those players have left the organization, we've won 1 championship, and we bought that because you brought in CeCe Sabathia and A.J. Burnett. And okay, remember, he bought that one with them, and I love CeCe for that. CeCe came in and did his thing. But again, if you look at the roster since, and look at the pictures, look at the pitchers that have come here and left and done better other places. They didn't think Nathan Eovaldi. Come on, man. There's guys that they could have had here on this team, and they didn't want them, and they've gone other places and done very well. Okay, when the kid Fulton Davis for the Braves, they put him on waivers. You could have had him just by picking up a $1.2 million. They chose not to. But in the meantime, you're bringing in Jonathan Damn Loizaga in the playoffs. Miss me with that.
I hear you. Kev, I know you. I'm sorry, Chan. I mean, Dom, my bad.
Go ahead,
Kevin was trying to say something while Chan was talking.
No, I'm saying Gary Sanchez wasn't hitting all season. He was almost a home run or strikeout. So you could attribute that to they tinkered with his stance or whatever.
Yes.
He wasn't doing nothing. And Duhar, same thing. He wasn't doing nothing. And then he don't got no position. So if he's not hitting, you can't play him. Severino, he got hurt. He blew his arm out. That happens, But before that, he was top of the line. He was on his way to becoming the ace. Sometimes, bad things happen. I'm not going to attribute it all to pitching. I mean, to coaching and stuff. When the Yankees at one point, they had the best farm system in the majors,
Yeah.
And so I can't really say they don't have. I mean, they pitching. They don't really develop that many pitchers, I guess. But Gleyber Torres is still almost like their best hitter. Besides LeMahieu, he's like their best hitter. So I couldn't agree with everything you said. Some of the stuff is valid though, but this season they started well. They had all these injuries and they never really got back on track. But it was, they hitting home runs. It's all or nothing. You're not
which is a problem. Which is a problem. That's a problem for them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's a problem.
And it's gotten now, guys, where it's bigger than the pitching. Aaron Judge had 4 hits. When are we going to start? You're injured all the time. You had 4 hits in the playoffs. 3 of them were home runs, and you had 4 RBIs. Gary Sanchez stopped hitting last year because he can't hit a curveball. You could change his stance. You could make him Johnny Bench on defense. He can't hit a curveball. Sometimes it's just that simple, guys. He just can't hit a curveball. And we all on this line, one time or another, said, gee, what's going to happen when Gary Sanchez can't hit? Because he can't field. He's tried to get better, guys. He's a young man. I don't want to give up on him. But he had too many other flaws so that when his hitting went south, you was like, well, what do we do now? Can't be a DH. He had 0 hits in the postseason, guys. 0. He was batting .00. Yeah, 1. He was batting .80 something. He had no hits against the Rays. He had no hits against the Rays. 0. So what do you do with him? And when it comes to the pitching, come on, guys. Again, we had this conversation last year. Severino with the constantly throwing heat. He's going to have to become a pitcher. We still got Jermaine. I know some of you guys are probably upset with him and what happened. But he gets a second chance at life like everybody on this line. Everybody gets a second chance. So I think it's much bigger than the pitching. And guess what, guys? We should have – there's no knock because he gave up the home run. But we should have let Chapman go last year because we had Britton. Britton is a closer. And the way Boone managed that last game, he's the reason we lost. You brought Britton in too early.
The whole series.
Yeah, you brought Britton in too early. You should have brought Britton in the 7th inning, middle of the 7th. Let him pitch the 7th. You can't have Chapman pitching that long. You saw what happened last year.
Right. Let me
Britton is a closer, guys. He was a closer on the Orioles.
But Don, that's not Boone. That's not Boone. That's Cashman and his analytics team.
I get that.
Managers don't manage anymore. They're basically being told by the general manager and his analytics team what to do.
But he's one of them, Chandler. He's one of those analytic type guys. You're the guy on the ground. You are the boots on the ground. You blew that game. Nobody called him on a hotline and said, bring Britton in the 6th inning and then bring Chapman in the end of the 7th. Nobody got on no hotline to tell him to do that.
Well, let me just address another elephant in the room, so to speak, in regards to this the series or whatnot. Game 2, Davy Garcia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
That
that was analytics,
was
people.
that
Ridiculous.
was
Ridiculous.
disastrous.
Ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. I think that caused us the series to be perfectly
It
honest,
did.
because you
Really?
know one
Yeah.
solo home run and
one inning.
Are
One
you
inning.
serious?
Yes.
Now, let me tell you why also that pissed me off, because I'm like, here you have a guy that's highly regarded. You understand?
Mhm.
The ace level. You understand? At a young age.
Right.
And to do that to him on a world stage, I thought that was totally fucked up.
It
I
was.
mean, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to
They said that was the plan.
huh?
They said that was
It
the
was
plan.
the
They
plan.
use him as an opener and then to bring in J.A. Happ,
That was
which
dumb.
was stupid.
That
It
was
didn't
very
make
stupid.
no sense.
There's an
Yeah,
option
that
to
didn't
that
make no
though,
sense.
Kevin. Every team that does that opener nonsense, there's still an option to that. He don't have to
keep
pitch
him in.
one inning. He can
Mhm.
be the opener and pitch more than one inning.
Yep.
Right.
This
Yep.
kid,
I
I
agree.
talked about this kid last year, guys. Remember
Mhm.
that he should have been on the roster. Give him some. But now we had this conversation last week, or with some of the other guys might not have been
Right.
here.
Right.
You might have ruined this kid.
Exactly.
But
You might
Dom,
have actually ruined this kid.
Dom, remember when we were talking about Garcia? We were talking about how he was pitching from the far side of the rubber, and we're like, how in the hell did you let him get this far pitching that far over in the rubber? And it took till he got up here, and then somebody moved him to the middle of the rubber. What I'm saying, and see, when I say Cashman, I'm talking about his entire team of development. It
Yes.
should not have taken Davy Garcia to get up here before somebody said, you know what? If you pitch at that side of the rubber, at the far edge of the rubber, you are never going to be able to pitch properly to a right-handed batter. Okay? Because everything you're doing is going right into the swing pad. Then they move them over, and suddenly he's getting everybody out, and then you're only pitching for one inning. And you want to bring in J Happ, who is consistently choked in the playoffs? Come on, man.
Yeah, that cost him. That was big time a blunder and a half. I was like, what are you doing?
The only thing I could give Boone credit for, and I'm telling you guys, this is so much bigger than the manager, the general manager, the pitching. This is a collective snafu.
Yes.
But
Yeah, big time.
when you built your whole organization, we had this conversation with the same pieces, that you have no backup plan when a piece goes down except to replace him with a light piece. You're looking for disaster. And to Kevin's point, no, Andujar didn't stop hitting. He never made the team.
Yep.
He never made the
didn't hit from the
64-game
gate
team.
this year.
He never got
hit
a
from
chance
the
to
gate
hit.
this year.
Where? In a split,
I mean,
in a split spring training. Remember, guys, spring training started, and it stopped. Then they had a
Well-
quick spring training at your home stadium.
He did
What did he
when
get,
they
Mark?
played him, he didn't hit.
When?
He might have
They
played
played
in
him-
20. He might have played in 15 games, Matt. He might have played
Right.
in 15 games.
I know.
But they
I
let
know.
Gio Urshela struggle. They let everybody else struggle. But they were.
Yeah,
And by the way,
Gio
the
Urshela
thing
got
about
blocked, though.
the thing
He's
about
the
the
best
good
third
position.
baseman on the team.
And
Okay,
how
but
did
the
that
thing
work
is,
out? How did that work out, guys? Not to cut you off. I said this last year. Gio Urshela had his breakout season last year. Was a 230 lifetime hitter. Made just as many errors as Andujar. But Andujar was 20 years old. 20 years old, made 10 errors his rookie season, and he'll never be Brooks Robinson.
Right.
But you
I don't
bring in a
think he made
Gio
10, but I
Urshela,
think he
who was
made
a
more.
shortstop, a third baseman, and this baseman, never was a starter. And he was never a hitter. And what did
Right.
he do in the
Right.
playoff? That Gio Urshela we keep talking about. He hit a $120. So what did he give us? He had a
Nothing.
standout year last year, guys. I'm not taking nothing away from him. But I told y'all last year, that was a blip. That was not a trend. Check his stats. The same way
Yep.
nobody
I
checked
agree.
LeMahieu's stats. Everybody thought LeMahieu was the next coming of Tony Gwynn because he was hitting on the Yankees, but they never checked his stats. He was a great hitter before he came to the Yankees. The same
That's
way
right.
Urshela wasn't a
course.
great hitter.
Right.
But you threw Andujar under the bus at 20 years old.
Hmm.
And you have no contact hitters except Andujar,
Oh,
He
who the
was
last
making
time we
contact.
saw play should have won Rookie of the Year.
fellas, the latest Yankee rumor, and it affects
Uh-oh.
Gary Sanchez, is that the Yankees may or they should go after JT Realmuto. What do y'all
Yeah.
think of that?
Yes, because Sanchez needs to go somewhere or to an organization that believes in him and is going to help him work the kinks out. Okay, because the thing is, Gary Sanchez can't hit. No, he can't. He can't hit a curveball. It's a lot of guys who couldn't hit certain pitches who had really great careers.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So if you send him to an organization where he knows he's believed in, and they stop tinkering with every single thing he does, I think Gary Sanchez is going to be a very good player. He's not going to be what he could have been, and he's going to have a really good career somewhere else. You bring in Real Muto because you need a guy who can catch, who is a good catcher as well as a good hitter. And Real Muto has gotten past that point of, oh, is he a catcher? Is he going to hit? He's gone through all those growing pains, and he's comfortable in his own skin. And he's a great teammate. So I say yes, trade Sanchez. I want to see Andujar get traded so he can be successful. The biggest reason I want these two guys to be traded, not because I don't think they're good. I want the Yankees, but they're not going to be given a fair shake here. And if you once you went with Higashioka over Sanchez for the entirety except one game of the Tampa series, you basically told Gary Sanchez, we don't believe in you anymore. You have to move him now. He is still a young player. You have to move him now because just like you may have done with Davey Garcia, you may have destroyed his confidence as well. So you move him now while you can still get something for him. Okay, you can still get good value for Gary Sanchez. Trust me, because people believe in that fact. They believe in that cannon for an arm. They still believe in that. You can still get value for Andujar, and you can still get value for Clint Frazier, who obviously you are not going to play because you're going to bring back damn Brett Gardner, and you got Aaron Hicks bum ass who can't run hard after fly ball.
Right.
And he was their only hitter in the playoffs. Aaron Hicks. Think about that. He hit 3-something in the playoffs. And we sit here and talk about it. Let me tell you something. Sanchez is going to become another Soriano. No shade. He's going to become another Soriano. Soriano could not hit the curveball. He bounced around the teams. He stood decent, but he never got to that, as we would say, potential.
Right.
To me, looking at Gary Sanchez from the outside, he just looks so uninterested. You know, like, I mean, come on, guys.
Maybe because his confidence is there.
It could be a number of things.
He gave him every opportunity you could give him. He was the starting catcher. He was hitting third. You know, he had good seasons. They gave him every opportunity. It's not a case of, oh, he didn't give him a chance. He fell off a cliff. He can't hit.
Yeah.
Right.
He's gonna y'all guys remember Soriano. I used to like Soriano. I told you all the story when I ran into his niece out here. Oh, my uncle played for. Oh, you mean the guy that couldn't hit a curveball, number 12? Oh, why you say that? Because he couldn't hit a curveball.
Get in the fight.
And he still had a really good career.
But Dom, Soriano was still a solid player.
A decent player. A decent player.
No, he was solid.
He was decent.
I'm not gonna say.
Don't make me pull his numbers up. He was decent.
You had the
they couldn't figure out whether he played second base, the outfield. I mean, come on, guys. I liked him.
Listen, he was a 20. He was a 20 home run guy, 80 RBI guy.
A couple of years. He wasn't
he had a good
80 RBI guy.
More than a couple.
Yeah,
you're gonna make me pull him up, really. Man.
No, I gotta say, from my memory, he had great production. I'm telling you,
he had very good seasons, guys. I'm saying that, but because of his inability to hit a curveball, he became a decent player, a decent hitter. He was never a standout defensive player. That's how he ended up playing left field instead of second base. Remember?
Okay.
He ended up as a left fielder.
He was originally a shortstop.
And then he played second for the Yankees, left field for the Cubs. And
you know why he couldn't play shortstop?
He didn't have no glove. He had no glove, man. We could come up with it.
Oh my God.
He couldn't field.
Yeah. You guys are hilarious.
Couldn't throw. He couldn't field.
I just pulled up his numbers.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead. Let me hear this.
Max.
Yeah. 2,000 hits.
Okay.
2,095 hits, 481 doubles, 31 triples, 412 home runs, 1159 RBIs, and his batting average was 270.
He had 400 home
and
runs.
he had 289
Yeah,
stolen.
he was a
I
monster.
stand corrected.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He
Well,
was a great.
Sanchez ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Nah.
He ain't doing that.
Nah.
If Gary Sanchez is going to hit 300 career home runs and gets away from the Yankees. Gary Sanchez
Good.
is going to be viewed as a very good catcher when his career is over.
I wish him
I'm
the
telling you
best.
that right now.
Nah,
I
Okay.
wish him the best. I
We're
wish him
gonna
the
see.
I
best.
don't think so.
We're gonna say
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta. The point was made that a team's got to believe in him. You understand? I think, that
Agreed.
he's a hitter. But
Again,
if you don't have
I'm-
confidence, in the guy, that's going to come down on him. He's not going to have confidence in himself. If he goes to a team that believes in him and whatnot and knows what he can do.
The Yankees believed in him. We beat up Kevin every
he
show.
said he was the best player in the organization.
We beat
They
up Kevin
don't believe in
every
that guy.
show.
They don't believe in that guy. You know what? They don't believe. Why are they
But
tinkering with his
Kevin,
stance? Why are they messing with his stance? Let him be weird. Stop trying to make him a power hitter.
Now, if we didn't mess with his stance,
He was a power
everybody
hitter.
would say.
No, he wasn't. He was
No.
the best.
He
He wasn't a
good
power hitter. He was a
But
good
let's-
hitter.
Let's
He
just
was a
say
pure
this,
hitter.
Gap guy with power. He was a gap hitter with power. And what happened wasn't his batting stance. After his first season, when everybody universally in baseball said he was an up-and-coming young defensive catcher, had one of the best arms in baseball, okay? The Yankees thought to him, well, you don't block enough ball. So they got rid of Tony Pena, who was his confidant, and who also, remember, Gary Sanchez has been in Yankee organization since he was 16 years old. At one point in time, they had to send Gary Sanchez back down to A-ball from AAA to get his mind right, okay? Basically for an attitude adjustment. So I'm not saying that Gary is blameless. Gary has had and may still have some maturity issues, okay? But I do know that when Tony Pena was the catching instructor, the only real knock against Gary was his footwork on balls when he should have been shifting because he's a big guy and he's not as light on his feet as they would like him to be. They started messing with his stance behind the plate because they want him to frame balls better and they want him to block balls better. They want him to do this better, do this better. And suddenly he couldn't throw anybody out because he was so worried about his mechanics. And suddenly that filtered over into his hitting because he was so convinced that he wasn't doing this right in the catching and the catching and the catching and the catching and the catching. And young catchers, especially if they're hitters, they go through a period where one or the other suffers because they're trying to get the other better. Okay, you can look at that historically. You look at the Bob Boones, the Jim Sundbergs, the Johnny Benches. You know, Johnny Bench, not Johnny Bench, but great, so really good catchers. Even the Molinas. Okay, even Yadi Molina.
Yep.
For a while, he was not a great hitter. He was a great catcher, and his hitting had to catch up to that. And once his hitting caught up, his catching did slide a little bit because he started concentrating so much on the hitting. But with a young catcher with that potential, you have to let them go through their growing pains. And the Yankees did not do that with Gary Sanchez. They didn't give him a chance to go through the growing pains, just as they didn't give Miguel Andujar a chance to go through his growing pains. They said, "Oh, you made so many errors. We got to get you off of third base." Instead of saying, "You are such a good hitter, we are going to live with your growing pains. We are going to live with the fact that you may make some throwing errors because your footwork is a little lazy. Okay, we can fix that, but we need that back in the lineup." Instead, we got Gio Urshela, who I would be willing to bet did hit over 260.
He got hurt. They didn't just bench and do hard. He got hurt. He missed the whole season. So they had to get somebody else.
Right.
But
for that year, Kevin, when that year was over, they didn't give him a chance. But as far as what Chandler's saying, I would venture to say Sanchez led the league in pass balls. So his footwork and his glove wasn't that good. But again, going back to y'all, we don't develop, we don't do this. The Yankees worked with Sanchez. We got to say that about the Yankees when it comes to Sanchez. They gave him enough rope, and he ended up hanging himself because he couldn't catch. He couldn't catch, guys. We can talk about the blocking the balls and all that, but he had the most pass balls in baseball. That means you was just dropping balls, period. Damn getting in front of them, damn blocking them. You was dropping ball, hit glove, go to backstop. Ball pitched to you in dugout, you're swinging. Some things are in your head too, guys. I mean, sometimes we actually got to take responsibility for ourselves.
Right.
That you're swinging at balls that the first base coach is bringing back to the umpire. And you never figured this out. And it showed this year again. again, guys, it started in the playoff, and I wish them the best. I don't want the Yankees to give up on them, guys. Don't get me wrong, but there comes a time where you got to say,
all right, I hear you. I may think differently, but I hear you. You know, I may think differently, but I get it. I get it. Let's do some moving on. Going to the lane of the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. I want to first off, let me just say I thank God I did not see, because I'm not watching football this year, as you know, but I did not want to see some type of horrific ankle injury involving Dak Prescott. I heard it was horrible. I had no desire to want to see that. Some people ask me like, no, I don't even want to. Even if I was watching the NFL this year, I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying?
His ankle did a 180.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You know that was. I heard it was horrible, man. I just can't. You know, my best wishes. I'm glad the surgery was a success, reportedly. Thank goodness for that. I hear the prognosis like a 4 to 6 month recovery.
He didn't tear any ligaments. He didn't tear any ligaments. That's the best thing that happened. Even though he broke the bone, dislocated the ankle, he didn't tear any ligaments.
So that's big. Exactly. So that's big. So thank God for that.
That's real.
You know, exactly. So, well, the funny side to hold on before I even get to that. Did you guys hear what Tony Dungy said about this?
Hey, okay, hold on.
What did he say?
I understand what he said. Okay, and in reality, he's right.
I do too.
It's going to make the Cowboys go back to run game,
right?
But he could have used better language.
Yes, he could. Because I said this, Chandler, I was thinking the same thing. I said, okay, I get what you're saying, but your delivery, no, Tony, no, you're wrong for that. Not wrong for what you said, but the way you delivered it, I was like, bro, really? And they took him to task on Twitter.
Oh, they drug him.
They drug him through the. Oh, it was horrible, man. It was horrible. But but now you got this guy.
What did he say?
He was saying basically how it was a blessing in disguise for this injury to happen to Dak.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, blessing in disguise. Yeah.
He's a moron for that one. He's a moron.
I was like, what the hell, man? Really? Did you just do that? But the thing that that kills me, and I have to laugh a little bit, is now they have to go to Andy Dalton, of all people. And if you've heard the show on In the Paint and me talking about this guy, I'm not a fan of Andy Dalton at all. I think he's a bum, and maybe that's a bit too harsh, but he's a bum.
Red rifle. That's the red rifle.
No, it's not. It's more like the red pop gun. He's a bum, bro. He is a bum, okay? And you guys better get ready to saddle up and ride Ezekiel, because if you're counting on this bum to save you, at best, he better be a decent game manager, at best. Mm-hmm. You understand? Because
that's all they need.
Yeah.
That's what he better be.
Yeah. Prior to Dak getting hurt, he was balling out of his mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's playing real well, and they made a good pick in picking CeeDee Lamb so much that Amari Cooper ain't even getting the ball anymore.
Because Amari Cooper is trash.
Who's trash?
Amari
I knew you were going to say that.
Mac, you know how I feel about Amari Cooper.
I had to make sure. I was like, my headphone working? What's going on?
You know how I feel about Amari Cooper.
I knew
he shows up for 3 games. He shows up for 3 games a season. All right. That's it. 3 games. All right. He gets all his catches, all his yards in those 3 games. He'll have like 200 yards, 150 yards, 150 yards, and the rest of the season, 50 yards, 25, 75, maybe 90.
Damn, Chandler.
Listen, Amari Cooper is trash.
Wow.
Straight up and down.
Okay.
Listen, I think Andy Dalton is a competent backup. He's better than
he's trash, son.
Half
trash.
Oh, he's trash as a starter, But
He's trash
He's
as
a starter
quarterback.
now.
He's trash.
They need to feed. They need to
Dude.
feed Zeke the ball, and
Yes, they do.
he, like you said, he should be a game manager. But
Let me tell you something. He is so much trash. I thought he came from USC, drafted out of USC.
Wow.
Hey, just think about this. All them great numbers you're saying that Zach was putting up, Dak, which is correct, he still only had one win.
Well,
True.
And they were losing.
It's not all. That's not
They
all
were
on
losing
him.
when he left the game. I'm talking about the team overall. We could give the quarterback all the praise and all the slander. I think I said this last week. Somebody in that division is going to win 6 games and go to the playoffs.
Yes. But you know what he does though?
And they might win a game in the playoffs. That would be
I
real.
don't know
sick.
about that, but they're going to win.
You know what
6
this does
games.
though? If you notice, Kellen Moore doesn't start calling good plays until they're behind. And then suddenly he streamlines the offense and he starts calling the right play. With Andy Dalton, he has no choice but to shrink the playbook down into basically play action. Because Andy Dalton is not going to move around in the pocket. Okay? He's a statue in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? He's not. So now you're going to do what? Now you're going to run the ball. You're going to play action. He's very good with play action. And if you look at the Cincinnati teams that he was on that made the playoffs, even though they didn't go anywhere, and one of the years they should have went somewhere if not for Vontaze Burfict, but we're not getting into that nonsense.
Right.
Okay. But if you look at the Cincinnati teams he was on that was successful, what did they do back? They ran the ball.
Yep.
They did play action, and they played defense. Now the Cowboys defense is, oh my God, Mike Nolan needs to be fired yesterday.
But to your point, Chandler, this may help them. This may help them with him running and play action and taking the air out the ball. Because as fast as the Cowboys score is as fast as the other team scored.
For sure.
The Giants don't have that penalty on that fake kick. They won that game.
Yep.
They win that game.
Yep.
Right.
Think about that. A 0-win team would have won that. I know if ifs and ands were pots and pans, but you take away that penalty, the Giants won the game.
2 penalties. It was 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, but that one with the touchdown, that took all the wind out the Giants' sails.
Yeah.
They were done after that. And they was in that game. They was up in that game. And they'd have been tied for first place with 1 win.
Yeah.
And only had to win 5 more the rest of the year and make the playoffs.
Exactly. Sad. That's
Ain't
sad.
that pathetic?
You know?
Yeah, they're not going nowhere. Whoever wins that division is going home in the first round.
You take 2 penalties.
Ooh.
You know what? What happened?
That and right.
They're giving up like 40 points a game.
But they should have won.
You know what cracks me up though?
And,
Mac, you made me laugh. What was it, yesterday?
Daniel Jones.
Daniel
Jones is now.
Max on the delay. His internet cut out on him again.
Daniel Jones is now part of the.
He talking, his lips ain't moving. He's talking, his lips ain't moving.
I can't even hear him.
Yo, this is okay. Wait, let's give Mac a chance to come back, man. Okay, but I got to tell you a funny story that had me cracking up. I didn't even realize this. No, seriously, this is like some real horrific shit about Daniel Jones, which I never even realized. To be perfectly honest, this guy in a fucking year and a half has over 30 turnovers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never realized that. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was like, wait, that can't be correct. Because Mac, had texted me that. I was like, wait, are you? Because he was calling him Mr. Picks and Fumbles. I'm like, wait a minute, that designation belongs to the one and only Kirk Cousins. So now, you know what I'm saying? But now, after revealing that little tidbit, I was like, holy shit. I found that fucking amazing. I'm like, wait a minute, over in less than 2 seasons, my dude. Yo, come on.
All we gotta do now is give him that big Gazoo helmet.
Word.
And he'll be like It'll be Eli Part 2. I mean,
Jesus, man.
whoa.
I can't even believe that, man.
Who's the Giants' backup quarterback?
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Straight from the lips of Chandler. Exactly. Nobody knows. You know?
Yeah,
I'm just like,
I'm
yo,
not
what
saying,
the hell?
I'm not saying put the guy on the bench, but he may need to go to the bench and regroup. Because, yes, he's a turnover machine. And I'm not even a football fan. I keep up with the Giants and the Jets, of course.
Right.
But this guy's a turnover machine.
Horrible, man.
I
never realized
coming of Eli.
Think about
he's the book of Eli Part 2.
Think about this. Think about this.
Ooh.
Dwayne Haskins in the 3 games he played, right? 3 games. He had better stats in the 3 games he played, and he got benched, like sent to the damn practice squad, than both Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones.
Wow.
That's how bad the 2 New York quarterbacks have been.
Yeah. It's not even shocking to me. I'm like, God damn, this is life as a New York football fan. You know, I mean, I'm not really one. I go for the real football team in New York. Go Buffalo. Go Buffalo. That's right.
Josh Allen has listen, I did not believe in Josh Allen. You guys know that.
Right.
This kid has impressed me. I'm willing to say I was wrong, because he did the one thing I didn't think he could do, is he figured out how to throw passes not at people's feet, not over their heads.
Right. So there's that improvement on Josh Allen's behalf. You understand?
Yes.
And I respect that. You know what I'm saying? I like what I'm seeing in Buffalo. I know they're not going to be undefeated and stuff like that. But what's that again, Kev?
He fumbles a lot.
Huh?
Yeah, he still does fumble. Yeah.
Who's up?
Josh Allen.
Oh, yeah. You know, but listen, that's my team in New York. I don't care. The hell with the Giants, the hell with the Jets. They both let me down. I don't have. There's no love for them anymore. That's just it. I'm done. You know, I had enough. So it's time to take my fanism elsewhere and still try to keep it real in New York. You know, so.
But you know what, Kev? If Josh Allen gets rid of the fumbling, if he just cuts down on him because he's running quarterback, I think he's gonna fumble some more. But if he continues on his path of progression, this kid's gonna have a really good career.
Exactly. I believe in that. You know.
I mean, I still like Sam. I still like him.
Cool.
I wouldn't give up quite so much on him. Sam Darnold.
Oh man, come on, stop.
He's got the wrong coach.
He got the wrong coach. The Jets never provide their quarterbacks with any sort of talent.
You know what? And that's a valid point. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Everybody looks horrible when they're on the Jets. You know, look at Flacco. Flacco came in. The dude dropped the ball in the first fucking play. Come on, man. Like, damn.
right.
You know what, though? Look at Justin Herbert, right? Justin Herbert is basically he's Jameis Winston with more athletic ability, in the sense that if you let him, he will throw interceptions.
Right.
What is Anthony Lynn doing? Anthony Lynn is only letting him make plays that he's good at, right? And the kid looks good so far. But Anthony Lynn is not basically asking him, hey, throw us to a win. Sam Darnold's got a coach like, hey, just go out there and throw the ball around and see what happens.
Right.
It's obvious Darnold's not getting any coaching because he's regressed. I mean, I wasn't a Sam Darnold guy when he came out of college because he was a turnover machine in college. And I thought if he came to the Jets with the way the Jets' terrible coaching is, he was going to be a turnover machine here. And he has been. But if Sam Darnold goes to another team with a good coach, right? If he goes to I know he won't like a Saints. If he goes anywhere, a Pittsburgh, right? Let him go to Pittsburgh and watch and see how Sam Darnold does in Pittsburgh.
Okay. So you think he to break out of that usual USC mode?
Because
he'd be the guy.
They're going to then play to his strengths. They're not going to ask him to throw the ball 50,000 times a game.
Right.
And they're going to run the ball and play action. Sam Darnold is really good at play action. He's really good at if you roll a pocket. He's really good if you don't ask him to win the game on his arm.
Right. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
He needs somebody to throw to win the ball on the arm.
That's true.
That's another thing. So.
I think we had that conversation last week with the Jets and their offense.
Right. That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? So
I think you left
I
us,
get
Kevin, before we got to that. That's sad.
Right. It's horrible. Yo, let's stay in the NFL lane and move along. Carolina Panthers, Teddy Bridgewater leading the charge, and that's not the only reason, obviously, as Carolina Panthers have won 3 straight games and is tied for first place in the NFC South. Now, again, before the show aired, myself, Chandler, and Max 611, we discussed a little bit about this. They're playing hard. That's one thing I can say. You got guys over there, young guys playing hard. They're overachieving. The last 3 games, I have to point out that Teddy Bridgewater has been pretty much on by playing mistake-free games. You understand, placing the ball where it needs to be in whichever receiver he's throwing to. He's getting the job done, and I respect that. So, and I'm generally happy for this guy because the injury he went through a few years ago and the comeback, and this guy should be a starter in the NFL anyway. You understand? That's my belief. And I'm glad to see that he's getting his chance down in Carolina. He's doing his thing, and I wish him much more continued success. I like the kid.
Yeah.
And the Panthers are still playing defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
If you play mistake-free ball on the Panthers,
mm-hmm.
And guess what? The Saints are losing tonight. So
there won't be no 3-way tie.
And if you guys remember, a lot of the experts, I hate using that word, had the Panthers in last place because that's such a tough division. The South, they had the Panthers in last place.
Well, it was
and again, I get to see them every week, so
it was because of the coach too, Dom. Because Matt Rule, man, listen, he wasn't that great at Temple, and we saw what he did at Baylor. He was getting his quarterbacks killed at Baylor.
Right.
Okay. And I didn't think, I thought that he would do the same thing here, and instead he actually has got an offensive line to protect his quarterback. He hasn't really put Teddy Bridgewater in harm's way. But now Joe Brady do with that, the coordinator that came over from New Orleans. That was he was with New Orleans when Teddy was there as well. But listen, I like what they're doing in Carolina, and Matt Rule, I'm gonna give him some credit. Once again, I'm give him some credit because he has done something. He's doing it very different than what he did in college. In college, he was getting his quarterbacks killed at Baylor. He was getting the guy killed. He's protecting his quarterback. He's running the ball enough, even without McCaffrey, and he's got the defense playing to where, listen, all we got to do is get the lead and salt the game away. I like what they're doing in Carolina, man. And it's like you said, listen, you can win and not have the greatest roster if you coach well and you put players in position to be successful.
Right.
And again, they play good defense.
Yeah.
They've mixed up their offense. They've had players come. But the thing with the Panthers, when they bring guys in to play defense, they fit the mold of the guys they used to have.
Okay.
I mean, they lost Kuechly, man. This guy had to retire at an early age.
Right.
But they haven't missed a beat on defense. I want to see them play Tampa Bay. That's what I want to see. And they're going to play them. They're going to play them coming up
That'd be a good
soon.
game. And Robbie Anderson, the Jets shouldn't have let Robbie Anderson get away because he's like either the 5th, 6th, top 6 receiver in the league.
Yeah. Damn, son.
He's got over 400 yards in 4 games already.
Jesus. Okay.
1 touchdown.
Yeah.
And 1 touchdown. Okay.
But he's getting the ball downfield. He's putting them in a good position.
Yeah.
And remember, the Panthers are used to grounding and pounding, running. If the Panthers have McCaffrey the way Anderson's playing now.
Well, the backup running back isn't doing too shabby as well. He's not doing shabby as well. So he's doing his thing.
Yeah, Bridgewater's in a great position, guys. On that team, sure. I was kind of skeptical at first. Could he make that real comeback? He's not a backup. But wow.
Team, he's doing.
Oof.
Hold on for a second. I'm sorry. I gotta text this guy, Max. You're going in and out. Okay. Right now. Oh boy, I tell you.
But I like the fact that Teddy has gotten a chance because very rarely do guys that look like Teddy get a second chance, a real second chance. And he got one, and he's making the most of it.
Yep.
And I like that because I'm gonna tell you what, Drew Brees is washed. So Jameis Winston is going to be starting quarterback for New Orleans Saints next year. Because Drew Brees is washed. Okay. He has not looked good through they're going on 5 games, 6 games now.
And
he has not looked good at all.
Wow. So that's it.
Well, no, I'm not saying that's it, but I'm saying that he should retire. The defense. The thing is, the defense. Saints defense has never been that great, except for a couple of times. He's not good enough now to overcome that defense.
Gotcha. Okay, right. I understand.
And they're falling quick, guys. The wheels came off. I hate to say this, but Chandler, right? The wheels came off Drew Brees quick.
Wow.
Real quick.
Well, how old is Drew now? He's like, what, 38,
39? 40?
No, he's the same age as Brady.
Get out.
40. I think he's 41.
Oh, man. I thought he was a couple years younger. My bad. Shame.
Wheels came off real quick.
Well, it's that time. You understand? You get one thing you already know, can't beat for all the time. When it's your time, that's it. It's done. You need to step aside, retire, and just live your life in Florida and whatnot with the rest of the retirees. You know what I'm saying? And call it a career. That should be it. But well, God bless him. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Let's get into this one on the NFL. Well, I wish I had what do you call it? Another one bites the dust by Quinn audio clip. But this guy deserves it. Jesus Christ. One of the most anticipated moves. More so than the guy that got fired last week. It's like the odds on was like what's his name was number 1. Dan Quinn was number 1 on the hit list, and now he turns out to be number 2. But the Atlanta Falcons, they finally pulled the plug on this guy, got rid of him. And the GM, by the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the GM. I think that's even more huge than the coach getting fired. You know what I'm saying? That's really the big news. But they got a 2-for-1. And yo, this could be seen as nothing but good news for this organization and their long-suffering fans. I was thinking about Atlanta, Georgia. Jesus Christ. Those fans, I just feel. You ever just feel so bad for a city and state's team because there's like rarely championships that go on over there. I mean, the last championship that's happened in that state on a professional level has been the Atlanta Braves back in '91. That's all I got. I don't know about any hockey teams that may have done it since then. It's just bad, man.
What's scary about Atlanta are their best team over the last decade and a half, the Braves, get the least support.
Yep.
See, that's amazing.
They're going to beat the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but okay.
They're scary, but they are scary.
They got some pitching, just like they did back in the day, and they got some young kids that don't know what the hell they're doing, but they're just doing it right.
I want to see that series. I really do.
They're winning 1-0. Again,
okay.
They had 4 shutouts in 5 games.
Damn.
Yeah. They're going to beat the Dodgers, guys. I really think.
I think they have a chance. They
learned a valuable lesson last year, guys. When they got smoked in that 7th game, when they gave up 100 runs in 1 inning,
right?
they got a wake up call, but they got some good young talent.
Yeah,
and the scary thing is they're the best team in Georgia, and they get the least amount of support,
which is ridiculous. But then again, I can understand that. They're like the fans over there, like, well, why waste our time? We're not going to win a championship.
Well, and look at where they put the stadium. And look at where they put the new stadium now. The whole stadium was downtown. The new stadium is not really accessible anymore.
It's not in Atlanta.
It's not in
Atlanta.
Look at that.
It's not in Atlanta. It's in Marietta.
It's out in Cobb County.
It's in Marietta.
If you know anything about the area, Cobb County, man, is not accessible, bro, because they don't want nobody coming out of Cobb County. It's for the rich people there.
Yeah.
My God.
They don't want you out there.
I'll tell you what, though, guys, it's a beautiful ballpark. It's right down the street from where my late brother was.
Okay.
Pat still lives there. So when I go visit, the stadium's right down the street from where they live in Marietta. But it's a monster getting in and out of there.
Yep.
Because the highway is like going to my left, so it will be the right as you come out the stadium. And there's traffic lights.
Yeah.
So you're stuck in limbo. I mean, thank God I only got to go 10 minutes down the street, but even 10 minutes takes me 30 minutes. But it's a beautiful ballpark, guys. And guess what? They still don't sell out. I mean, I'm going back to last year when they were playing games in their stadium, and they had some good young talent to come watch last year. And they think about this, guys. When they were playing not to get off track, but when they were playing the Yankees in the World Series, they was one of the first teams never to sell out in the World Series. They couldn't even sell out a World Series game in Atlanta when they played in Turner Field, whatever it was called. Remember, they couldn't even sell out.
That's ridiculous.
And they were in the World Series, and they was one of the best teams in the 90s and got no respect. And just think, guys, in the 90s, the Hawks sucked. The Falcons sucked. You know, that's all you had. And you know, like an afterthought.
You know what the funny thing is to me, man? I remember one year. Actually, there was a couple of years where they wound up 13-3. I remember one year in particular when the quarterback was Steve Bartkowski. Okay, and they were 13-3. Number one. I said to myself back then, I was like, okay, this is it. This might be the year. This might be the year. What happened? Didn't they lose in that first playoff game?
Yeah.
Well, didn't they go 15-1 with Vic?
Oh, gee.
The year they went to the Super Bowl?
It was something like
I think they went 15-1.
That wasn't Vic though. That was the Dirty Birds.
Yeah, they had Vic. Vic was the quarterback when they went 15-1, and they went to the Super Bowl. Remember?
No, Vic didn't make it to the Super Bowl with Atlanta. It was somebody else was the quarterback.
Dirty
Then they got bumped before the Super Bowl.
No.
There was a year they went 15-1.
You talking about Jamal Anderson?
Yeah, Jamal Anderson. Yeah. They went 15.
They didn't go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they went 15-1.
They went to the Super Bowl.
They went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they went to the Super Bowl with Jamal Anderson.
Yeah, they did.
Everybody was doing the Dirty Bird. And they got
exactly.
Smoked.
And they got smoked.
Right.
You know? And it was like I said, man, I just feel so
Mike
bad.
Vick never went to the Super Bowl with Atlanta.
No, Mike Vick never went to
the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Who's the quarterback for that team?
I don't even remember. Who?
Chris Chandler.
Chris Chandler.
Yes, you're right. Chris Chandler.
Holy shit. You're right, Kev.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good deal.
And they had a good team.
They did.
And again, they've had so many bad years that
it's ridiculous. I feel sorry for that state. I'm sorry. You can't get any wins. Can't get not one. What's up, brother?
Ronan in the chat room, he said the Georgia Bulldogs are the most important team in Georgia.
Yes,
and he's right.
He's right. Yeah.
And he's right.
That's true. What's up, Ronan? But you know what, though? Rich McKay helped build this team the last time it went around when they started getting good. And guess who's back in charge again? Rich McKay.
Okay. So there's some ray of hope.
They might be in good hands.
Well,
I think so, yeah. I think so.
You know the owner owns Home Depot.
Yeah, now
let's build something together.
If you're Eric Bieniemy, do you take this job or do you take who else just got fired?
I'm gonna take the Jets job.
Or with Raheem Morris.
Houston Texans.
Yeah. Houston. Do you take the Falcons job with Matt Ryan? Or you take the Texans job with no draft picks and capped out, but you got Deshaun Watson?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a very good question.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even want to answer that shit.
No. I think Houston would be a safer destination than Atlanta. Because again, Atlanta got talent though. That's what's scary. They're not a bad team. They just can't get out their own way. Yeah, they went haywire after they blew that lead in the Super Bowl. They ain't been the same since.
Exactly. They're not a bad team, but they're a bad team.
Yeah, exactly. if that makes sense. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Good,
exactly.
They're good, but not really good.
There you go.
Lord.
There you go, man. I'm telling you, brother. Yo, man, it's just really ridiculous with this team, man. Well, as Chandler said, McVay is back. McKay is back, excuse me. And hopefully he can rebuild it. You know, hopefully he can build it. You know, so we'll see what happens. Now, with all these the two coaches, the one that I feel that deserves to really go, he should have been number one with a bullet, is Adam Gase.
I was going to say Matt Patricia.
Well, you got him too. You got
He's
him
next.
too. That's another one.
He's
Yeah,
next.
yeah, for sure. Well, who would you put first, Gase or Patricia?
Gates.
Patricia.
Wow.
Gates got it.
I have to say Gase, man, but I
Gase,
feel what you're saying.
Jim Caldwell won 9 games and got fired.
Right.
Matt
Okay.
Patricia ain't won 9 games yet.
Right. And he's still coaching. And he's still coaching.
Well, the only reason I would give him more of an alibi than Popeye is at least he hasn't shit on nobody during the losing. Where our boy, Bubblehead, he ruins everybody. He don't like this guy. And everybody just tends to And ownership, we had this conversation too. Ownership sits back and says, oh, okay, he shit on R.
Yeah.
He's like what we was talking last week with Power. He's like Dre. He done shit on everybody, still got a job on the show.
Wow,
I mean, really?
Yeah.
Chandler,
he did the Power
man.
reference.
Chandler,
I've never seen that show.
Chandler,
What?
of all people, me
Oh,
and you
man.
had him getting fired last year after 6 games, and he's still around.
Yeah.
That was you and me, Chandler. He gotta go. No, that boy gotta go.
my man Ronan's like Gase and Patricia could get fired at the same damn time.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
I'll take
Amen to that.
I'll take
Patricia's
that.
a moron.
You know? Exactly.
They got to win, though. They got 1 or 2 wins. The Jets ain't got no wins.
Nah, and they're not going to get any either.
No. And what are you going to do? You're going to draft another player. He's going to piss them off. They're going to go somewhere else. That's the part that's killing me about him. Whether you're winning or losing, he starts so much of a rift between everybody that I just can't get beyond that. That and you ain't winning. You done pissed on everybody.
Le'Veon Bell
Complaining again.
he wants to leave. I don't blame him.
Me either.
Yeah.
Gase is a moron. He throws everybody under the bus but himself.
Yeah.
Yep. He needs to go. He needs to go.
And there's Jamal Adams getting ready to go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right.
Undefeated.
Exactly.
Figure that out.
He's loving that deal.
Yeah, figure that one out.
Injured.
Kev?
He got injured.
He got injured. Yeah, well.
Who, Adams?
Listen.
Yeah, he's injured.
Good for him.
But he did what, you know what? He got out of here. That's what he wanted. So good for him. He got out of here.
Yeah.
And he's gonna get his money. I don't, like I said, I don't, if I can understand why he wanted out. My issue with Jamal Adams is always the same thing. Stop telling me you're a winner and the team keeps losing. All right? Stop talking about I'm such a winner and you ain't never won a damn thing. Stop telling me you're a winner when you never won a damn thing. All right, because LSU didn't win nothing until after you left, bro. All right, so miss me with the I'm a winner talk. All right, but I get it. He was playing for a losing coach. He was in a losing coach and he wanted change. So I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with Le'Veon Bell liking tweets about him getting traded. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with that. Listen, I told y'all, C.J. Mosley came to the Jets. The Jets signed Adam Gase. C.J. Mosley has been hurt the entirety of his contract. Okay? He's like, nah, bro, I got to have surgery. COVID-19? I got out. Okay?
He's volunteering for surgery, huh, Chandler?
That's hilarious.
But
how about this part?
I told y'all that the GM is setting Gase up so he could fire him. He gave him a bum ass.
Do it now. Fuck.
That's a long.
He has
setup.
to deal with the owner. The owner won't let him fire him. But I think after the next couple of weeks, he's gonna get fired. Either it's got to be a culture week. So next week, Gase or Patricia is gonna get fired.
You know what's so stupid? You know what's so stupid about not what you said, but the stupid shit is the owner. When you brought up the ownership, Max 611.
Right.
I can't see. This is why I can't fucking support these assholes. You understand? Make your move now. Why delay? Why delay the inevitable? So you guys are gonna keep getting blown out week after week. It's gonna be 49-3, 57-2. Or stop with the bullshit. Get rid of the guy. Let fucking Greg Williams take over the interim basis and pray to God. Make the
Is that me? Or did they throw free?
Him.
No, that's all.
Okay. Matt? R?
offer of a lifetime. I'm still here. I don't know. I Max 611. It is
Mac and his haunted internet.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But again, like I said, the ownership of the Jets is ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Disaster.
Yeah, come on.
Disaster.
Get rid of the fucking guy. Good God. Why are you holding on to? It's going to be embarrassing. If they hold on to this guy for the rest of the year, you're going to see these scores. It's going to be ridiculous for the Jets.
Yeah. Well, you want to go 0-16, but honestly, I don't want Trevor Lawrence because I don't want Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
I want the kid Trey Lance from North Dakota State. That kid is going to be something.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, to me, and I know Joe Douglas just got here, I wanted Louis Riddick to run this organization.
Yeah.
I wanted somebody.
He wouldn't come here though, Chandler.
He wouldn't.
Nah.
He'll come for the right price.
He come to the Giants though.
I'll tell you what. I watched that kid again this weekend. That Lawrence kid.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson's just on another level, man. I thought they would give him a tough game. I was like, we already had one upset, man. That damn game was over in like the second quarter.
Right.
That kid is special, Chandler. Serious. He only lost one game his whole career.
Something about him. I just can't get on board with. I could be wrong.
If he gets a haircut, you'll like him. Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's his hair. That kid can play, guys. that kid can ball, man. He's like 34-1, something crazy like that. One loss, and that loss was in a championship game.
Yeah,
wow. That kid is.
Adam Gase has more. Adam Gase has more blowout losses than he does wins.
Yeah,
that's not surprising.
Yeah,
that's not shocking.
How about that?
That is not shocking at all. That's why I'm saying we're going to be subject to watching these blowout losses by this team, and it's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Let me ask you guys a question. If you guys have been watching the Jet games, have the fans gone back to putting like the brown bags over their heads yet?
I don't think they have any fans.
No, but they've been putting up. They've been putting up posters and flying airplanes.
You know what though, Matt? If Joe Douglas is actually smart, as smart as we giving him credit for, then he may be the one telling the owner not to fire Gates, because you need to go 1-15 or 0-16, okay? Because the Giants might not win a damn game. Like if you fire Gates and you win 2 or 3 games, you out of the sweepstakes for a quarterback. All right, if you truly want Trevor Lawrence, let's say Trevor Lawrence is everything everybody says he's going to be. If you truly want Trevor Lawrence, you really need to only win maybe, and I say maybe one game. Okay, the hell with maybe just tie the game.
Right.
Because the Giants, as hard as they play, are not good.
No,
they're not good. I don't see where the Giants win a game this season. It's like I don't see where the Jets win a game this season. Okay, but now when you change coach, sometimes you get a bump. You win a game you're not supposed to. About towards the end of the season, some team lays down for you. So Joe Douglas may be saying, "Hey, keep them. Let's lose as much as possible, so we get a really high draft pick. You're going to trade Darnold and get at least a second and a fourth for Darnold if you trade him. That's extra picks, and then you can really kind of build your team and get a lot of good young talent coming in."
Right.
Plus,
I think the Giants.
Plus, they have salary cap space.
Yeah, again, we had that conversation last week. It seemed like the last 3 years they had cap space, and what did they do with it? Here's a team that has cap space, and they let Jamal Adams leave. I don't get it. But the Giants might win a game by accident quicker than the Jets will. I don't even see the Jets winning a game by accident.
Right.
Like something miraculous happens, and you block a field goal.
They play Miami twice, and Fitztragic is good for one of those games where he throws 7 interceptions.
Exactly. For sure. Fitztragic.
I don't see the Jets winning the game, guys. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, like I said earlier, if you want a team in New York, you gotta go upstate. That's it. Don't head over the fucking Jersey. Just go upstate. Deal with that drive. you know, and root
Matter
for
of fact,
Buffalo.
they're the only team that plays in New York.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's what I'm saying. That's the only official. Hey,
Right.
listen, you got a
Yeah.
team competing. They're undefeated. You
And
can't
they're
get mad at
playing
that.
well.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
And their quarterback is pretty good.
Yeah, you know,
I
so
will give that kid credit.
hell
You know,
yeah.
Everybody got a little up in arms when they let, what was it, Tyron Taylor go.
Mm-hmm.
They were like,
Well, not up in Buffalo. They couldn't stand Tyrod Taylor in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Remember,
Right.
I'm up there. Remember, I'm up there.
Okay.
They couldn't
Yeah.
stand Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
They was the actual Bills fans in Buffalo. They was glad to see him go. Now he's
Wow.
a good guy, and he's a good placeholder quarterback. They could not wait to get rid of Tyrod Taylor up here.
They got their wish. This kid
Yeah.
can play though. He could
They
play.
sure did.
And that Trevor Lawrence guy reminds me of him.
Mm.
He
Oh,
does.
okay.
I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen a Clemson game,
Nah.
but
I
they just play different.
Right.
They're like, you know, under center. It seems like all the pieces just move so fluidly. It's like,
Really?
why
Okay.
can't the Jets do this? Yeah.
Well, yes.
They're what Alabama was a couple of years ago. That's
Yeah.
what
Okay.
Clemson is right
Oh,
now.
okay.
They
Okay.
might be Alabama on steroids, Chandler.
Yeah.
The way they score.
Damn.
They score and they score quick. I'm like,
I may have to-
Jesus
I may have
Christ.
to view a couple of games on YouTube or whatnot. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I may have to.
Think of some of Saban's best Alabama teams where they scored. That's what Clemson is doing right now. Clemson,
Wow. Damn.
Dom is not lying. It's like watching a high school team play a Pop Warner team.
yeah.
Right. Damn. It's like that.
I bet
Shit.
I would almost venture to say, I know we go through this I think they could beat the Jets and the Giants.
They could
Seriously.
beat the Jets.
And they
Yeah,
definitely can
seriously.
beat them.
They
That's for
look-
sure.
They look that good.
Wow. That's. I gotta, like I said, I gotta go on YouTube and
And
check
if I'm
them
not
out.
mistaken, I
You know?
forgot who they beat, but they was a number. Oh, Florida.
Oh yeah.
Florida came in hot. You know, they was, up and coming. I think they was ranked number 3, 4.
Mhm.
And it was a good game for about 6 minutes. And then all of a sudden, it was like, next thing you know,
Really?
I watch it. I'm in the second quarter, I'm like, oh shit, this got away quick.
Damn, I gotta see something like that, man. I'm
Oh.
telling you, I gotta watch this guy.
They go win the national championship.
Yeah. If it's like you just said how it is, there can't be any question. Gentlemen, I want to thank you guys. I'm gonna break out. We're gonna break out. Yeah, Mac looks surprised. That's right, I said it.
No, I
with the
didn't
free-
look surprised.
Well, you look right. I can't tell because you kind of I don't know.
I know.
Keep freezing
I
at these
know.
facial moments like that one. You see.
I know.
Sorry. Okay, we gotta do something about this, but it's all good. But I want to thank you guys for always joining myself and Max 611. My man, Coach. Thanks for first time ever. Don't be annoying with that headphone next time. Yeah, that was ridiculous. I was like, this fucking guy's killing me.
Issues.
Hey, well, how come I don't have issues? I mean, I have mentally,
You
yes,
got
but
issues,
on this show, huh?
No, I'm saying your connection.
My
It's
connection?
choppy.
When?
Your connection.
Nah, bullshit.
now.
I
Couple
called.
of times.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Watch
no, it
this
wasn't.
shit. When you get off, watch it.
I am
back.
gonna watch it. I will watch it, and that's bullshit.
You
because
did freeze,
my
dog.
shit is free flowing. Okay.
No,
I hit me
You
when you see
did
it.
freeze up, for a
You did.
minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Couple
did. You
times.
disappeared on us. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Max
Pull the Mac.
haunted internet affected you, and y'all both.
I guess so. Well, my bad on that. But getting back to saying thank you to you guys, saying Coach, also the Bishop who experienced the same thing I apparently experienced. Dom, Chandler, Kevin, as always, you guys are the best. Always value your input and continue support. And for Max 611, because I know he's frozen right now. We're gonna say peace out. Hopefully we'll be here Friday, barring anybody working overtime and stuff like that. We'll hopefully be here Friday. And Chandler, thanks again. Welcome back, brother. All right.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
Chandler.
brothers.
Love you, kid.
All right,
brother.
brother. Peace.